we've been through the slums where we just can't seem to damn win for a while. You want to blame someone, but really you can only blame yourself.
That was real. That I relate to that so hard.
If you have to play Mang0, would you say you would beat him?
I 3-0'd him the past 2 times we played.
All right, there you go.
For sake, dude, I was able to become the best in the world for a while at something. And that's just, no one can take that feeling away from you.
That's just like some goated, bro. That's just so crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, that was motivational.
I'll cut off a leg if I have to.
Welcome everybody to another week of GOAT Talks. This time around we have one of the GOATs. If we can call anyone a GOAT, it's definitely this guy, okay? Like, listen, quite the big deal, let me tell you, okay? Runs the coin box, been around supporting a lot of communities, not just Smash, but also Rivals, Nasby at some point, just a lot of stuff, you know? It's a great dude. We got Hbox over here in GOAT Talks. Hbox, how you been, my man? Welcome to the show. First time being here as well.
Yeah, first time for me. Appreciate the intro. And yeah, we're just talking about how we're all gonna be showing up in Miami in a few days for Let's Make Moves. So gonna be a fun one. Really enjoyed it last time, and I think there's very few tournaments that still happen on a beach, and this one literally is. So it's only a 3-hour train ride for me. So gonna be super easy. I'm gonna play Balatro the whole way there and have a chill weekend, man. Gonna be a nice way to celebrate it.
Dude, that must be amazing. We have to take a 3-hour flight, not train, but flight. So, you know.
So
not
nice.
too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Obviously, you can't go to across country, but in Florida, it's like you guys just take the Bright Line sometime. It's great.
I see.
There will be an alligator ready for me if I do that, bro. So maybe not. I trust. But
is that true? Like, is there actually a lot of gators out there in Florida?
Oh, there's a gator that lives behind my house. Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah, like if you just come in, like without knocking the door, he has his own key, bro.
Thing is, gators they're dumb, dude. Like they're not smart enough to like outsmart you or sneak up behind you. They're just big old reptiles from like the dinosaur age. And then they just sometimes they'll like poke their head out of the pond, but like legitimately, fun fact: if an alligator is ever chasing you, just run in zigzags. They're too dumb. Yeah, they're gonna try chasing you and turn around. They're too dumb to understand they can just go straight. So just zigzag. And they also, they're dumb.
That's really funny.
Yeah,
okay,
that would make me feel safe though.
Yeah, that makes it a little less scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Little.
All right, bro.
I wouldn't jump in a pond with them, Dewey. That's a bad idea.
All right, bro. I mean, of course, we're already talking about Miami. Really excited event. Luminosity, of course, giving us shout outs to the GOATs. So, are you excited for the event? What is your prediction? I know that you will definitely be entering Melee, so.
I'm supposed to be an ultimate, but maybe they forgot to throw me in there, which I'm salty about. They always forget. I'm going to check, though, right now as we speak. But yeah, I'm in those as well. I didn't think like the race would be like as close. Like I'm not in the running for rank 1 this year, obviously, but like Zane being the guy to beat and Cody, of course, coming back from his break there too is going to be really interesting because I was like 1 hit away literally from beating Zane at wavelength, even though when I thought I was out of practice. And I just like literally like an hour ago before this podcast started, I got my controller fixed by a guy here in Central Florida. So I'm excited to, give it my all again. I'm going to be playing Melee this week to get on there. I feel like even if you haven't played a game in a while, I don't know if it's like for you guys, but let's say you like go like a week or 2 without playing Ultimate and you pick up the game again, like, oh crap, I gotta get back into it because Rivals came out or different things happened, so you didn't play as much Ultimate. The first like hour is shaky, but then like after an hour, I feel like it all comes back, like in droves. And as long as you keep polishing it is good. But I think pro players for Smash, it really is like riding a bike sometimes, no matter how much time you haven't played the game. Just 1 good hour of warming up, and then your brain's like, all right, the gear's turning again.
Yeah, and that's actually the exact sentence that I always say over here. It's literally like riding a bike. I mean, you've done it a bunch of times. You're not going to forget it. You might need like a couple hours here and there, but it's still there,
Everyone's constantly like adjusting their play too, so it's important to put. Man, they didn't put me in Ultimate Singles, man.
Oh my god!
Production,
we need that fixed like ASAP. What the actual fuck? But all right. Anyways, that aside, though, it looks like a good event, right? Like I think it looks pretty good. And I mean, there's a lot of melee talent, like you were saying, right? Like there's Zane, Mang0, Wizzy. Sensei, Aklo, Sal, Joshman, Junebug, to name some. Is there anyone in particular that you're like looking forward into playing besides Zane, obviously, and Cody? Well, I don't think Cody's going to this, but yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to play either Zane or Cody and finally just like, get my shit together and beat them. Cody I was able to beat not that long ago, but like Zane's had like almost like 2 years where I haven't beaten him. I'm just like, this is way too long, dude. Should not be happening. But at the same time, he's rank 1 for a reason. It's good. It's always, I always say, good for a game to have a rank 1 like that, because it just keeps things fresh. It keeps things interesting, and it gives you a person to beat. And actually, I just checked the bracket here. Oh, I got a crazy bracket. Oh, yeah, I got the Foxes. Oh, Fox City, baby.
Ooh.
Oh, Fox Jigglypuff. Huh.
Yeah, that's a match you don't see every day.
I'm legit projected to fight 5 Foxes in a row.
Oh my freaking god, no, that's
So
insane.
fun. Okay, Cody's not going. Cody's not going.
Yeah, no, he's not going.
Oh, okay. Okay, so good. Me and Grant.
There you go. So if you have to play Mango, would you say you would beat him?
I 3-0'd him the past 2 times we played.
All right, there you go. Yeah, no.
He's been grinding Rivals, and I guess I have been hosting Rivals. I don't think either of us been playing much Melee, but I'm gonna play this week. But no, I have a new discipline that I use against him too. Like, and it's not even like, because I think I used to just defend way too much on the defensive and be afraid to scrap, but I actually got way better at scrapping in Melee recently. And Puff is. She's like you think she's like a balloon character that's like defensive and zony, but I'm approaching her in a whole new way, and I think it's the future of the meta. So we'll see how this event goes. Again, if I don't do great this event, like it happens, like you can't always bet on everything going exactly your way.
Yeah,
but it'll be fun either way. It's a Melee tournament in Miami, dude. What's
doesn't better than that, man. Exactly. Now what about Wizroad though? Because I know against Wizzy, you kind of struggled a bit in the past, if I'm not incorrect, right? Or it's at least like game 5.
Wizzy, we traded sets at CEO. I was up like 3 stocks to 1 on game 4, and I just did the biggest throw of my entire life. And I knew when it went to game 5, it was like I'm gonna get reset and this and that. I call him an alien because like there's no one in the earth that plays Falcon the way he does. And Puff is his favorite matchup, which is like something that no one can really agree with him. But the way he approaches it is just so scary. It actually feels like you're going to be dead at any point. It feels like you're playing Smash 64, where it's all touch of death combos, and just like you wouldn't think Puff can be a victim of that, but against his Falcon he can be. His bracket though is interesting because he has to fight Junebug, and I think didn't Junebug beat him at Egg Dog? That's a Melee stat. You probably wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
But it's Wizzy Junebug, and the winner of that fights Mango for top 8. So you get either Mango Wizzy or Mango June. It's Mango June, probably gonna be Mango, honestly. Mango Wizzy could be interesting though. He's really good versus Falcon, but never doubt Wizzy on a good day. It'll be a dope bracket. I saw J-Mook is here too. Crudo, both Sheiks, Aklo, who's been like legitimately top 5 performing this year. Yeah, almost everyone minus Cody and a couple others, but yeah, it's really good.
Oh, that's good then. Well, good luck, Hbox. You got this. I know you've been grinding because you wanted like really bad, And I've seen your tweets. You've been like, man, can I just have one? Maybe this is the one, bro.
Yeah,
maybe it is. I think all of us here, when in the courses of our careers, because we've been playing for a decade now, right? Whatever game we have played, we've been through times where we have won huge events and it felt damn right amazing. Then we've been through the slums where we just can't seem to damn win for a while, and it's hard because you're not. It's like you feel like you're not really competing against other guys. You're competing against yourself because you're able to do it in the past, and you're angry. It's like, why can't I do it again if I could do it before? And then you want to blame someone, but really you can only blame yourself.
Exactly. That was real as fuck. That I relate to that so hard. But before touching the next topic, I actually wanted to ask you. You mentioned that you've been posting Rivals. You've been cooking Rivals, of course. I mean, if you allow me to say it, I've always been really thankful to you because the Smash and now Rivals have been growing up a lot because of you. So, in the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate what you do. But keep cooking Rivals. And my question is, are you gonna compete in Rivals? Do you think about like playing Rivals?
the H locks does exist, but I'm already way behind the meta. Like I picked it up on launch day. I'm like, okay, I'm doing all right. I picked it day 2. I'm like, I'm getting farmed. I like put in the the 12 hours in a row everyone else did. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I really wish there was more Puff-esque character. Everyone does play Raster, but it's a little too different to me. But the game is undeniably polished. It's beautiful, and the comparisons that everyone makes constantly to Smash, but not just that, to Multiverses, to Nasby, to the other platform fighters that were supposed to be like in the space, but the appeal wasn't quite there as much as it is with Rivals because of how similar it is to Melee and having those physics, having the speed, the polish, the netcode, the voice acting, the just generally the quality of the game. It speaks volumes as to how much prestige and hype that it's getting, and I have no doubt it's gonna be a really good self-sustaining game, kind of the way Brawlhalla is. You know, Brawlhalla's their prize pool shit on ours, bro. They got backing. They have like featured wrestlers, featured characters from the games. And then they got SpongeBob in there. When you own your own IP for a game, the sky's the limit. So we'll see how far they can push it with Rivals too. I heard there's like 40 characters that are supposed to come out. So
wait, really?
yeah,
Oh,
or
damn.
40 total. I heard was, but that's a lot of characters over
Yeah,
the
that
course
is a lot.
of 5-10 years. Yeah. I was just saying the game is great, and you know, the Coinbox tournaments has been already in the first week. People are doing the most bizarre shit I've ever seen. So it's as a spectator and a host, it's really cool to watch. But we will be also resuming ultimate content, ultimate tournaments in November for a very special reason, and
No spoilers.
can't spoil it now, but you're probably gonna want to watch that Coinbox.
All right.
Okay.
Probably actually watch the one on Wednesday, especially during top 8. You should definitely
My
watch. Yeah, that's what
okay, exciting news. Exciting
Yeah.
news.
I'm
Okay.
always picking up something. It's always there.
Always
Yeah.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
excited. Yeah, every fucking Wednesday is always the best. But I guess do mention that there's 40 characters. Holy shit. Like you're playing the game with like what, 8 characters less than 10 and you really feel like you're playing something so complete. Like you're really feeling that like you have to learn every matchup 100%. Like everything feels so unique. I feel like at some point. So that is absolutely really cool.
Bro, your
Yeah.
game has 80 characters. I don't know how you guys deal. Like we
I mean, yeah, but
Melee,
like
Melee has like 13 viable characters and like 2
Yeah.
roles that sometimes do well, and the other ones are just throwaways. And you guys, like Ultimate, you legitimately have to worry about 80 matchups that could beat you on a bad day in tournament. Like, does that just come over time? Do you actually put little emphasis on each one? Do you just put some out of your head because it's free? Like, how do you approach 80 matchups?
I
We
think that's
don't.
different for Meister and me. I'm pretty sure we have different opinions in it. But like for example, I don't think I ever practiced like the 80 matchups in the game, 90 matchups. I believe. Like I don't think. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone has done that, of course. But like just keeping that info in your head is so hard. Like just having like, okay, I'm gonna go into the bracket and I might fight one of these 90 characters. I don't think you can fit all that info in your head.
Yeah,
So
no. The secret is literally that you don't memorize every matchup. It's
you know,
literally like if you go to a tournament and you have to play, I don't know, Duck Hunt, right? Which is one of the characters that people always come up with. It's like, yeah, no one plays that character, right? If you go to a tournament, you have to play that character. And if you're lucky that in the last couple of weeks you played a good Duck Hunt, you're like, oh, whatever, right? But if you haven't, it's like, oh damn. So that's why I said you don't. It's like sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It's how it be.
some players know really strange matchups. Like I'm pretty sure, like every single player, like a top player, knows like in a specific matchup that you will be like, why would you know that matchup, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like just the archetype of the characters help you a lot because Meister gave the example of Duck Hunt, and even though he's unique, like he's in a specific character, like you still know that you can like beat his zoning in a certain way. You know that your character can play around zoning in a certain way, and you know that like, well, he struggles off stage, he struggles above. Like you kind of like don't have to worry that much about those specific things because other characters do it similarly. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
not entirely, but like you have experience against every character just by playing
Yeah,
other.
like I think if you play against like Mario a lot and you know that matchup, you probably know how to play against me, Brawler, because it's the same thing. You just don't get grabbed into his ladder combo bullshit. You know, it's like, yeah, okay, play the same way.
it's like approaching the match the same way. Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like it's not too hard. And Melee is different, I guess. I mean, we don't complete in Melee, so we don't know shit about that game, like competitively. But I mean, 13 characters, and the game is still growing up. I feel like there's just so much depth into the characters. As for Ultimate, I would say that like I don't know, some characters I could just see them just like stopping, like evolving. Like that's everything you could do with that character. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so I actually have a question for Hbox. So, like, what is up with DK, bro? Like, I've seen DK on the
What's
come
up
up
with
in
DK in
Melee.
your game, man?
I mean, no, in ours he's stupid, definitely. But all of a sudden, there's a bunch of them in Melee, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? But like, how did that happen?
He turns out he was a viable character all along. We make a joke that he's Melee's like first DLC character, and it's like he was there the entire time, and it was like in theory you're like, okay, someone can pick up this character and do the things, but he's so big and dumb and he's low tier, he's slow. But then someone's like, no, what if we optimize the hell out of this character? And it was only a matter of time. Then when you see like a Junebug or a good DK play against a Fox, it just reminds you of Fox Mart. This is complete counterplay. You have a big dumb target that you could just beat up, but if he grabs you, your stock is just gone. It's evaporated. And
Yeah.
like that's wild. And now I have been playing the matchup too, and there's new stuff with like DK versus Puff, and I'm just like, holy crap, I can barely edgeguard this character. I have to pray that I land a rest. Luckily, he's a big target. But if you don't land rest, his back air is bigger than mine. You can't edgeguard him. His back air is bigger than mine. He kills me at early percents. He's just big. Thankfully, he's big. If he was like a small, narrow character, he'd probably be a giant pain in the ass to deal with. But there is that. And just like Duck Hunt, you were saying in Ultimate, it simply is another matchup that really matters now that you can do it. Like I'd never worry about like even a Bowser. I've lost a game to a Bowser on unranked before, but it's really tricky when that happens. But like a character that Puff like truly like destroys, no matter how good they are in Melee. Like I'm trying to think of a good example that I don't know, like even like a Zelda, a great Zelda. As long as you know what you're doing, you're not going to beat a top Puff. But still, you can't ever sleep on people because there's
Yeah.
crackheads, bro. They just stay in the room all day, lock themselves to their game, and yeah.
Yeah, there is definitely people like that who like they spend a lot of time in the lab, like just labbing like certain very specific situations that you're like, man, that doesn't matter. That's never gonna happen, right? And then it happens in bracket, and you're like, oh damn, that's why he was labbing it. I see.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and that's how it is. Every pro players, we're the arbiters of our own fate, and we have to be responsible for knowing our stuff, or otherwise we just get embarrassed on live TV. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So in another topic, apparently there is still that $10,000 wager with Mango.
Yes.
So okay, how did you guys come up with that? Because actually, I respect that a lot, right? First of all, it's a lot of money, obviously, right? Like 10,000 is nothing to joke around.
Yeah.
But second, because I myself have been wanting to lose weight since like, goddamn, bro, since like 10 years ago, probably. It's really hard, right?
Yeah.
But so how is that going for you?
I mean, it's going well. I definitely have already lost a considerable amount of weight. I am confident I'll hit the goal before New Year's as promised, if not go beyond it. I had a bit of a cheat week this week because like my girlfriend was visiting, we had a party and we went out, and it's fine. But I still managed to track all my calories, as messy as it was. The important thing about weight loss is that as long as you know why you are gaining weight or why you're not losing it, it all comes down to a numbers game. It's like frame data, but it's not frame data. It's just calories in minus calories out. As long as you track it accurately, you are good to go. And the reason I did it with Mango specifically, first of all, he should have never agreed because I think it's one of the worst things he did to himself. Because I knew if I got my ass into the gym and started losing some weight, I was going to play a lot better. And I started clapping him after that. Like I won the past two sets really, really bad because I'm playing a lot better. And I almost beat Zane for that same reason. It was never about no lifing Melee and playing Melee every single day. I actually ended up performing worse by playing Melee every single day because I was stressing myself out. But by being happy and just keeping my reactions fast, being in a good mood, I think it allowed me to play in a much more pressureless manner. And that's kind of how you want to approach Melee. It's a great way to do it. So yeah, anyways, it's not a bet, like you said, it's a wager. In other words, he loses nothing if I make it, I only lose if I don't do it. So in other words, I'm either punishing myself for not doing it or nothing is happening. I'm fighting right now so I don't have to punish myself by giving this fucker 10K.
Yeah.
But it has been extremely effective. And if it's one thing you guys want to do it to yourself because your brain tricks you into just doing it. It's no longer like a yeah, I know I gotta be healthy, but I have time. Now it's like, no shit, I'm about to lose my next 3 paychecks if I don't do this. Like, and now it feels like it's part of your job because I made it part of my job.
Yeah.
And so it actually has motivated me. And like, there's no way I'm not gonna hit it. Even if I'm like, let's say I'm off the mark and I'm above where I want to be in December, I'm gonna know life and just go to gym every single day and like 1,200 calories a day if I have to. I'll cut off a leg if I have to. I'm not fucking paying attention, you know what I mean? So, and then I'll lose 15 pounds easy, right? But the point is, it's just another way of tricking my brain into a regime, and it's been kind of effective. So I don't know. It's cool. It's cool, and I hope I can maintain it too and sustain it because that's the most important part.
Yeah, what you're mentioning about calories is really important too, I think, because like I've been trying to lose weight, like I said too, right? And something that I think people say a lot is like those people that are like, oh, but I don't eat too much, right? And for example, for breakfast, they're like, oh yeah, I have a healthy breakfast. I eat like a lot of bread, a lot of yogurt, a lot of juice, and it's like, all right, well, listen, like sure you're not eating a greasy burger, but like if you're still doing a lot of like sugar here and there, like I mean that also kind of matters, right? It's like, I mean, you know what I mean, right?
I do know what you mean. It really depends on what you want to do because technically speaking, if I if you gave me only Snickers, only chocolate bars in 3 months, I could still lose weight by eating only
Mm.
chocolate bars.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
because it's a numbers game, right? However, you won't have your macros, you won't have your vitamins and your proteins and your good things that your body needs to not feel like trash all the time and your fiber. But from a standpoint, yeah, that's why I want to avoid sugary stuff because it's the amount of calories you can jam pack into it is really bad. And if you're gonna drink soda, at least do diet soda, right? So
Yeah, that's actually really good because I believe one soda is like what 180 calories, like
So much.
it's just you're throwing so hard if you drink soda sugary especially. You're just throwing like if you drink sugary soda trying to lose weight, you just don't care about it. You don't give a shit. Like at least you're not trying if you drink sugary soda.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's crazy. Oh, good luck with your wager. That's so crazy, bro. That you actually just like you said that you wanted to trick your brain. That's just like some goated shit, bro. That's just so crazy.
You gotta trick your brain, man. It's
that's
some 31-year-old shit right there. It's just you gotta know what works.
absolutely crazy. Yes. Well, the last detox was actually ultimate detox, right? So
Yeah.
which also is pretty funny because that's when you started playing Melee every single day, and you mentioned that you started doing Word. Well, it's actually a very good like advice for everybody that's trying to get better. I like everything, right? Just like feel comfortable, be happy, do your thing well, and it will work out. But how was stopping playing Ultimate? I know you love Ultimate, bro. Like you love it, you support it, you used to play it every day.
Ultimate's like like probably still my favorite game to stream for casual content and just do tournament runs. It feels like a version of Smash that I can enjoy without having to completely stress myself. When I stream Melee, especially ranked, if I lose on Melee, it like feels like a blow to my ego. I don't know how to describe it. Just like bro, damn it, I should not be losing this. It's embarrassing. Like I'm a pro player. When I lose an Ultimate, I'm just like, well, I've lost just 3,000 on Ultimate, but then I also beat Spargo online that one time. It's just like online is just so like you never know what's gonna happen. And I took a game off Sonics online.
You took me out of game 5 offline.
That game on Sonics
That was
was
offline.
incredible.
Offline for the record.
Bro, I should have won. I was up 2-1.
Yeah,
Best of 3, I win that. Just saying. The detox was cool and all, but you learn stuff about yourself with every challenge that you put towards. You learn new things and new angles of how you even approach competing just by staying existent in the scene over a long time. I know people retire from the game because they lose passion, they get burnt out, whatever it is. It no longer sparks joy, no longer gives them happiness. But something really special happens when you decide to tough it out. You it's not just about like how fast can my fingers move or how many possible combo routes can I learn. Your mentality revolving everything that you've done up to that point kind of gets reflected in your mind every single day. you really start considering the bigger picture, the not the microcosm of one match, but competitive gaming as a whole and what it's done in your life and why you do it in the first place. It's one thing to want to win a tournament to make a few extra dollars or do a good stream or a tournament, but winning, being in that hot seat, competing, I think us three, we probably all started for the same reason. We got hooked on that feeling immediately, probably when we were all teenagers playing our first game, and the satisfaction, just the sheer satisfaction of being able to best someone in your favorite kind of contest over and over and over again. Not just one guy, then 10 people, then 100 people. Then you became the best in your whole city. And then, for fuck's sake, dude, I was able to become the best in the world for a while at something. And that's just, no one can take that feeling away from you, except the pandemic, of course. But, you know, that's but right now that I'm kind of like, and I've sort of done everything there is to do in Melee, the last thing left, I think, is, like I always say, to touch the ceiling one more time. It's like New Game Plus, where everything's going now. And if you do it again there, congrats, bro. Like, pat on the back, job well done. Nothing else to do.
You finished the game twice, letting
Finish
harder
the game.
difficulty the second
Full
time.
game. 200%, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is, yeah.
With all the secrets.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was motivational as fuck. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, oh my
That's
god.
right, Meister.
Yeah. No, because
That's
you're right. Because, like, I think we forget about that a lot, very frequently. I even told Leo about that in Japan. Because we were singing Eye of the Tiger in the karaoke, super drunk, whatever, right? But we forget about why we even started. Like, it's not just like what you're saying, right? Like, why we play it, but it's why we started. And I think, yeah, I feel like a different man now. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. If you look back, you feel like you're like, yeah, I'm in the right place. Like, doing it right.
Yeah, and none of us would be doing anything else right now than exactly what we're doing, because we want to do it. And if you can make any kind of living, whether it's a humble living, a crazy living, whatever it is, if you make a living doing something you love, you're extremely blessed and extremely lucky. And I do gotta mean that. We lose sight of that too, and I think one of the main reasons is probably social media. I think the thoughts and the words of other people, in my opinion, I'll go into a whole like soapbox about it, but I'll just say this. I think as people, we were never meant to be able to see the thoughts of every other person. There's a lot of things that we can think, but some thoughts are meant to be kept private. Everyone's allowed to think what they want to think, but airing it out and sort of forcing other people to observe your thoughts
And even agree on your thoughts.
Yeah. Like, discussion is good, and forums are good for discussion, especially when the invitation to discuss is there. But sometimes like that, just unhinged, uninterrupted reply or comment, you're just like, why would you want me to see that? What? Now I gotta just think about this all day. Like, I gotta realize that you exist. Like, God, you made my day worse by a little bit. You gotta block. It just, but it's part of it too. But for the general picture, when it's used properly, being connected with the rest of your community, making events happen, having, sharing a funny meme, whatever it is, of course, it's great. It's great to have that instantaneous level of connection with someone else. I just hope that, I guess, from the outside looking in, especially because there's so many young people in the scene, like teenagers who are trying to compete in the game, and they trash talk each other, do certain things. Biggest message I gotta send to everyone overall is just be more damn kind to each other, dude. There's just so much more better things to do than going out of your way and trying to peg someone down because they're doing better than you because you disagree with them. There's always like a much more compatible medium of communication, just by stopping and, before you type and click post, like thinking about it a little bit and thinking, what would this other guy really think if I said that? Would it hurt them? Is this the best way to get my point across? Should we talk privately about some dumb tournament result or character bullshit? Like, it's just, there's better ways to approach it, I always feel.
100%.
Of course.
That's really cool. That's really good to hear for someone like you.
Yeah, because all three of us have experienced that. We're just like, why are we doing this here on a public forum? Let's just
Why are we doing it?
be adults, right? Yeah, exactly.
Just a little bit, like
Existential crisis, bro.
Yeah.
Existential crisis. That's stuff. But let's talk about the fun stuff. So, would you say that you actually have more fun watching Ultimate than Melee?
More fun? It depends on the bracket. I will say, which is probably the cliche answer. I mean, there's players I like to watch. There's players I'm not too thrilled to watch, but
Oh,
it depends on it. But
yeah.
you know what? A good melee right now is actually super healthy, where the meta
Yeah.
is. Like the best player is a Marth. That's just already crazy to think about. And then the last rank 1 player was a Fox. That was the first time a solo Fox ever did it. And you've got 2 of the old 5 gods. You know, me and Mango still kicking it, still making crazy runs. You got Jmook with Sheik. You got a bunch of really good peaches up and coming. You got Amsa, Yoshi, a resurgence of DK, and it's just good. It's a good spread of potential matchups that happen. There's tiers of players. There's the top 2 dogs, the top dog, and then there's like other tiers go below it, and that's good for storylines too. And honestly, in Ultimate, the reason I think and I think a lot of people really had fun watching it, is because of the storylines. You know, like Leo, when you went from being like the undisputed #1, and then all this new blood came that was so good, and the 4 horsemen happened, and all these things happened. Like that was a crazy shakeup, but it really made people invested. And I think, you know, the fan base that you've built, there's a reason people always lose their minds when you go on a crazy run, because they want to see return of the GOAT. You know, and you know. When it doesn't happen, it's not like, oh, it's over, he can't do it again. It's more like, no, he could do it. It's there. It's that close again. And you want that level. It's like standing in a movie theater or a movie you want to see for a long time, and you get to the hour 45 mark right before the climax happens.
Yeah.
And it feels like now we're at 146, 147. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We just gotta keep tuning in, keep tuning in. It keeps people watching,
Yeah.
man. Or Meister, when you went to Japan and you did your whole arc of training there, all NA tuned in was like, dude, if he does it, this is just what a statement you can make. You know what I mean? Go out there and do it. And these narratives are very important for any game that we play. And sometimes maybe I get a little too carried away, but you know, like on Twitter when I like try to push, you know, a little bit of trash talk for a match, it backfired with the
Yeah.
whole Spargo Zap stuff that one time, and I was just like, oh,
Mm.
feelings got hurt. That wasn't good there too. But sometimes all I was trying to do is build that narrative, because it
Yeah.
gets people invested in the game, and then maybe sponsors get invested, and there's more opportunities. It goes
Yeah.
it goes a long way. It goes a much longer way than I think most people realize.
Yeah.
Indeed. That makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
does.
I mean that's tough for another, but we've talked about that before, right? But like in person. But yeah, I think it is very important to have narratives in games. Like especially with Ultimate, which is a game that like compared to Melee like you guys play, and yeah, Melee has a lot of storylines too, obviously. But Melee, it seems more like people play the game because they just like the game, right? And with Ultimate, it's like it's not, well, yeah, a lot of people don't actually like the game. So that's
You play
why
it because it is the current
Yeah.
Smash game, right? It's
yeah,
like you're required to play it in a sense.
exactly. Yeah.
I have
So
an opinion there,
storylines.
but I'll wait.
So yeah, storylines are like, in my opinion, are way more important in Ultimate, or at least with how everything is. So yeah, I think you're right, like 100%.
Yeah, Ultimate is just. I mean, there's just so many players that came off after the quarantine. The 4 horsemen, like you said, Spargo, Mia, Cola, and Sonics, like they're just crazy. And like you see players like Zap, Shiny Mark, Mo, like players that can just like become top 20 players, top 10 players. So crazy, and I don't know. I feel that for us, for everybody, we have like a favorite match to watch because it's kind of like you mentioned like the narrative, right? So, what is your favorite match to watch? What is the match that you will be like, okay, this is like peak narrative. This is the match that should be happening right now.
Peak narrative for Ultimate, you mean?
Yeah.
I think, like, for instance, if whenever Spargo versus Aquila happens, it's always incredible, even if it's more one sided in Spargo's favor. I think just it's the guy who on a good day should be the best player in North America versus the guy who is proven to be the best player in Japan on a good day. The 2 titans of the world duking it out. But when neither of them make it, it makes things also interesting, because you take like well, I guess Supernova is back because Spargo won, but there was a Supernova, right, where it was Meister and Onan in Grands, and no one saw those runs happening, but it really spoke volumes. Like, this is how fucking crazy Ultimate can be. This is how unexpected it can be, and we live for these upsets. One of the biggest things I think that I miss about actual Panda being existent on social media was like the upsets threads, because like I
Mhm.
lived for those, dude. There's other people doing it now, which I'm glad, but like an upset is such a good way for a player who's like relatively unknown to boom make their stance on a scene and make it happen. Who was the K rule that just popped off on like zombie recently? Was it Brujo?
Oh, Brujo,
Like,
yeah. That guy's good.
now
Really
K
good.
Rule. K Rule's a viable character now, and gameplay positive too, of course. But like, still, it's just so cool to see people just innovating still with these characters that are considered bad. The game is 6 years old now, which is just crazy to even think about.
Is
6-year-old
it?
game.
Goddamn.
It's been so long. It doesn't feel like
6
it.
years old, dude. That's how long Melee was at before Brawl dropped. Just saying.
How old is Miller right now? 23? 23
Melee's
years?
20 23 years old.
Really?
Dude, do you guys think Ultimate would like? I mean, hypothetically talking, right? Like, imagine that like no game, no Smash game comes out, which I doubted. Would you think that Ultimate would just stay as Melee, like just like I was playing it for like another 20 years, even more?
Well, I'll
Yeah,
tell you what I think is going to happen, and what I think is going to happen is that if you're good at Ultimate, you probably have some job security for a little bit. Because I do not think it'll be a Smash 6. I think it's going to be an Ultimate Plus.
Same.
And it's gonna be they're gonna drop it with the new Switch Plus, whatever it
Yeah.
is, with 4K graphics, upscaled, new modes, new characters, new stages, probably new mechanics. There might be new mechanics, but the general physics and the gameplay should, my guess, is gonna feel the same. But
Yeah,
the
man.
only reason I'm saying this is not I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just looking at what they did with Mario Kart. They're gonna do the they're printing money, just like with barely any. They're just gonna rinse and repeat it. Like, yeah, everyone is here again. Everyone is still here. Is gonna be the logo, right? That's
Dude,
the motif.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, just look at Mario Kart, and they're like, well, yeah, but like, it's gonna be a Smash 6. It's like, no, it makes no sense. It literally makes
Yeah.
no sense. It has to be Smash Ultimate Deluxe or whatever.
There's gonna be probably a lot of surprises with it too, especially. I mean, if they had rollback, bro, we are so cooking. But like, it's just kind of a pipe dream. It'll probably be the same online, maybe a little better. But my prediction is, like I said, it's gonna be 4K Ultimate Plus or Ultimate something. You know how
Yeah.
Nintendo has their naming conventions where it's just like, oh, here's the Wii U. All right, now here's everything
Yeah.
U, right? It's gonna be like that. I don't know what they're gonna call it. Plus is probably easy. Ultimate Ultra sounds weird though. Yeah, but I'll deep dive into the game again, especially if they release like a multi jump heavy character like King Boo, maybe Gino.
King Boo. that's
I'd actually
Last
play
thing I'll
King
say
Boo.
last thing I'll say about that is that it all lines up because Sakurai just finished his YouTube series, which is I don't know if you watched that last episode, but it's absolutely insane what that guy did to make that series happen. The guy's like the hardest worker ever. But that video series proved he's basically a workaholic. He loves nothing more than working. And now it's over. I think we already know exactly. He's got a new project happening, but I would not be surprised at all if there is in the very low key the successor to Smash Ultimate, which is a plus version, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's just like, to put it simply, like, how can you top this Smash game? If you remove even one character, even if it's an Echo Fighter, people are gonna be like, "Oh, damn, it's not the same," right? So, like,
Yeah, you can't
what is the
remove
logical thing to do? Yeah, like just make a deluxe version, just add like a couple more characters, a couple new mechanics, like you said. That's it. It's literally like the easiest thing in the world, like to make a successor. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just
yeah.
we're gonna it's a Super Smash Brothers game because the headline's gonna be over 100 playable characters. First fighting game of that scale with that many IP crossovers ever. And hey, they're gonna rebalance it probably too, which is probably a good thing as well.
Goodbye,
But
Game
yeah,
and Watch.
you just keep milking the game. Fighters pass, stage pass. You can sell skins for once. There's so many ways they can make money that they haven't even touched on yet.
Yeah.
But it's all lining up, I think too. It's all lining up. The sales, the Walmart is selling all their old Switch OLEDs now at a
Oh
discount.
yeah.
Holiday season's coming. I think it's all gonna line up.
Yeah, they're actually doing that in Mexico right now. They're doing that, but in Costco. So it's actually. But now about the rollback though, like, come on, it's gonna make sense that it has rollback, right? Like every freaking fighting game has rollback nowadays. Like seriously, Smash is the only one that doesn't. And if they do not add rollback, the only thing I ask is that the game has less input delay. Like, you know how Ultimate Online feels so much worse than Smash 4? because the
Yeah.
game already has more delay, like more base delay than Smash 4. Like it has like 2 or 3 more frames, I think. If they literally just remove that and they don't have rollback, that's fine. It'll still feel good, you know?
Yeah, or they just take us all for a ride and are like, by the way, it's actually Smash Anniversary Edition. We are re-releasing 64 Melee Brawl Smash 4. And
Oh
also
no, dude, I would
Smash
actually
Bro
explode. I'd
with
explode.
rollback.
Oh no,
And,
no, no.
and
no.
all hell breaks loose.
Bro, I
And
feel like
all
we're
hell
dreaming at this point. We're
we're
delusional at
doing
this
5
point.
coin boxes a week, 1 for each game.
Oh my
I'm
god.
about to live in this chair, dude.
No, dude, that would be amazing. I'd actually
Mhm.
freaking explode.
It's not happening. I'm sorry.
A man can dream, man. Come on. Listen.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you guys get caught. I don't want you guys to get caught when that doesn't happen.
100% correct, dude.
No, yeah. Most likely it's not happening, right? But if it did, oh yo, what if though?
Yeah.
What if?
What if a man can dream?
Yes. I've
Exactly.
been dreaming. I've been dreaming. Do you different question now. Do you think Melee will be played for another 20 years? Like even though Ultimate stays, even though there's another Ultimate? Like what will happen with Melee? Like what's the top? What's the end? Will it just go along? Like what's out there, bro? Like would you guys keep playing?
Melee ends when a sequel for Melee drops. There's no sequel for Melee, so yes, we'll be around for 20 more years. I mean, Nintendo, they always eventually they end up re-releasing stuff. I think one of the biggest throws they're not doing is releasing like for the Switch, right? Or Switch 2, Kirby Air Ride Battle Royale. I mean,
Oh,
it's
dude,
just
that's a great
such
idea.
good idea. Like City Trial Battle Royale, it'll be so sick. The
Yeah.
IP is great. People love the game. There's little things, and all it was a GameCube game that that made from HAL Laboratory. They can simply re-release, do some clever programming, and do the same thing they did with like F-Zero 100 or Tetris 99. You know what I mean? You apply the same thing to that principle, and they're slowly adopting, the trends of gamers nowadays, right? People like MOBAs, they like mobile gaming, they like things like Fortnite. They like having tons of connectivity and playing as a lot of people at once. But when a good game drops, I think Rivals is probably a good example. We also are reminded that when you have devs who just do it for the love of the game, quite literally, rather than like a cash grab or something, you end up with a product that is art. It is a very good thing. It's something that people just really enjoy playing.
Mhm.
I always feel like when you make something that's undeniably good, like people will flock to it no matter what, right? You never have to make a game if you're a dev, or Nintendo's different, right? But if you're an indie dev, you never have to make a game thinking I need to do this because I need to pay my bills. Yeah, that's gotta be a stressful time too. But when you're able to be comfortable enough to do it and you're like, no, I'm doing this because this is gonna be one of the coolest things people have ever played ever, then you end up with a really good product. And I think a lot of the people who are working behind like Rivals, you can tell they're from the community. You can tell they're from tournaments, people trying to host it. They're from this community. You can feel the heart in it too. And every once in a while, a good game studio will make any game. It could be a one-player game, multiplayer, that just has that heart in it too. Smash Bros. As a whole, yeah, it's Sakurai's love letter to the genre. Well, he created the genre in a sense, but it's his take on how fun a fighting game can be. And we're going to be playing Smash till the day we die, whatever iteration is, 6, 7, no matter how long it goes. So Melee will still be around because me and a number of other people who are tryhards, we obviously consider Melee to be like the apex version of what a platform fighter could be in terms of how smooth it feels. But I always say Ultimate and Melee are the top two because Ultimate's borrowed things from every Smash game up to that point. All the mistakes, all the trials, tribulation, tripping. They did a bunch of things that didn't work in order for us that did work, right? The main gripes nowadays for Ultimate, I think people don't like, the meta. There's characters that are really, really good, but I think you balance it and you tweak it, you throw in some new characters into the fray, you have the most complete version of Smash. That would be Ultimate, And that's why I've always enjoyed it, loved playing it, loved watching it. It's just inherently a good game when you look past some aspect of the meta, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think that if Ultimate just had like small changes, it would be literally the perfect game. If not, I mean, if you allow me to say it, I still feel like it's the most complete and the most perfect
I
balanced
think
game.
2019, 2020 Ultimate, like the way the meta was perfect, literally. But then
Yeah.
even because like DLC Pack 1 was fine. Like Joker was strong, yeah, and he's a really good character, really good top tier, whatever, right? But he didn't feel as exaggerated as what we got into later. So, like, well, obviously, like Steve, Midman, Aegis, like all of that is like, I don't know. Like, yeah, some changes here and there would be good.
Here's a question: you get rollback in Ultimate, but Steve gets the third jump. Do you do it?
Yeah,
Permanently.
yeah. He already kind of does. He just puts a block, gets it back, whatever. Give it to him.
That makes sense. Yeah. Then yes. Then my answer is yes too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, me too. Right. Rollback Ultimate was so sick.
Please. All right, Hbox. Before wrapping up everything, Miami. Let's talk about Miami again. I'm pretty sure that you want to win. You want to take it all, as well as Meister and me. So good luck.
One of us here has to win our event. One of us three has to win our event. We have to.
Agree.
I'm
Yeah, I
mandating
agree.
it. And I'm checking the brackets right now. Yeah, Meister, you check your brackets, Meister? Do you want me to spoil it for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of
It's
course,
interesting.
I play Mia, obviously. So
Play Zomba and
Woo!
Mia.
Yeah, I always play Mia. No, I always play Mia, dude. Every event that we go to, we're seated into each other. Like I already knew before the brackets came out. I saw Mia was going. I was like, okay, so I'm playing Mia, right? Like, okay, whatever. Good.
You guys
Yeah.
do the game watch though?
No, he went Steve against me in Japan.
Yeah, his. You know, did I tell you the story when I fought him? I was kind of like going even with his game watch, and he pulled out his zombie and doubled 3-stocked me. I'm like,
No, like I don't blame him. Like if he wants to go Steve again, fine. Because yeah, I struggled way more versus Steve than in the game I watched it. So yeah, of course, it makes sense.
and Leo, you got Guy the Luigi into Mars,
The nail cheek kill.
and then
That's
you have
the-
Light or Beast Mode Paul. Who would you rather fight?
Between Beast Mode Paul or Light, I think Light. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think I prefer Light than like dying to some bullshit, but I think I'll be fine. I played Akagi Kusu in Japan a lot, so I think I'll be ready. I didn't understand shit and I won, so I think I'll win. But I still prefer Light.
There's also I didn't realize this. Raflo is gonna be there. Raflo
Yeah.
is going, and he fights Sonic. So that could be an upset.
Yo, Raffle against Louis. I'm sorry to cut you, but Raffle against Louis before Sonics, that'll be
Oh,
good.
Palo Ditto. Okay, actually, Louis Loki wins that. Yeah, I could see that. Louis money on a good day, dude. He's crazy.
He's
But
insane.
I think the player actually that is the most making waves right now is Lima. I think like Lima, he's been playing at like a top 5 level. At least what I saw at Cirque and the Invitational, that's a top 5 player right there. And yeah, he just went in. Light won Cirque, right?
No, it was Mia. Won the Invitational.
Mia won Cirque, sorry. Light
Yeah.
won Invitational, yeah. But yeah, Mia, of course, is your classic like Japan god who's coming here to see if NA can defend him. And then you've got you guys, and you've got Light, Tweak, Shattuck, Zomba, Beast Mode, Paul, Mars, etc. So it's definitely gonna be a good bracket though.
What you thinking? Well, this is a question for Meister. What you thinking? You like your bracket?
Yeah, I like my bracket. It's like what Goblin, then winner of Zomba and someone else, which I forget. Yeah, and then it's Mia. So I think if if Mia goes Steve, we'll see. Like, I don't know about that, but because it was pretty bad in Japan. Like I took one game off his Steve, he was like, "I don't care, I'm still gonna beat you," and he did. So like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And besides that, everything's good. Yeah.
Man, I love your laugh. I love your laugh when you like. Is he gonna go Steve?
Like I mean, well, like I said, if he wants to, I don't blame him. Like it's the right choice, I think. But yeah.
Exactly. But
Looks like a really interesting bracket.
looking
Nah,
forward
we
to it, man.
definitely take it. We take it. We take it home, Meister. We gotta Steve. We gotta keep in the tournament, bro. We gotta do our job. Just like we gotta wrap this up. I'm so sorry to say goodbye to you, Hbox. It's been a great show. Thanks so much for being here. A superstar like you deserve to be in the Go Talks. Thanks so much for all your advice about life, about competition and stuff. And hopefully we see you in Miami. Good luck. As always, you know you got it. And well, yeah, we got it too. Thank you so much for watching. This was the Go Talks. Meister, Hbox, me, the Goats. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment down below who's gonna win Miami. See you next time, Goats.